very good evening. You're watching Headlines Now with me, Deepthi. Before we move into all the stories for today in detail, let's have a quick look at the top headlines. A dramatic scene at the Chennai Central Railway Station as a man atop the railway tower threatened to commit suicide. On the eve of the vice presidential election, Jayalalitha extended AIADMK support to NDA nominee Jaswant Singh. As Team Anna stands dissolved now, Anna urges the need to work towards a political alternative against corruption. Suspect in a shooting that left 6 people dead at a Sikh temple in Milwaukee has been identified. Vikas Gowda makes the cut for the discus throw finals in Olympics. And the most promising scientific mission of the decade, Curiosity lands in Mars. Rajni and Kamal won't clash at the box office this year end, with Kamal preponing the release of Vishwarupam. News in detail. There was intense drama at the Chennai Central Railway Station till a short while back. A man had climbed up on the top of the clock tower on the historic Chennai Central Railway Station and had threatened to commit suicide. Now on towards your left, you can see the man who was atop the clock tower threatening that he would commit suicide, and the amount of crowd which had gathered and the confusion this had created at the railway station. The police had climbed atop the tower as well and was seen persuading him for quite some time to come down. Towards the right, you can see how the police finally managed to get him down from the tower and had arrested him. There was intense crowd at the railway station because of this incident. This had been happening from 3 p.m. today, and just till a short while back, the man was right there perched, threatening to commit suicide. His identity has not been established as yet. However, he is in police custody now, and this caused quite a ruckus at the railway station with so many people gathering around there to check out what's happening. As you can see, police had quite a round of talks and negotiations with him, trying to persuade him to come down. His identity and his motive behind his supposed suicide attempt has not yet been established. He is currently in police custody after around 3.5 hours of threatening to commit suicide atop that historic clock tower near the Central Railway Station. Now I have our crime correspondent Salim. Who has more on this.
Chennai Central Railway Station's clock tower. If my camera person could just pan his camera a bit, you can very clearly see a man climbed the narrow staircase of the Chennai Central clock tower and reached atop the clock tower. In fact, immediately the public alerted the police. The man was threatening to commit suicide. The public alerted the Railway Protection Force, and the Railway Protection Force passed on the message to the Tamil Nadu Fire and Rescue Services. They arrived at the spot. Both the RPF and the Fire and Rescue Services police personnel reached atop the clock tower, but the man was threatening to commit suicide. When the police reached atop the clock tower, the man in fact continued to climb the pole. You can very clearly see the pictures right now. The police personnel standing underneath, and they are negotiating with the person to come down, but the man is refusing to come down. In fact, if my camera person could just tilt down a bit, and if my camera person could just pan a bit, you can very clearly see that the passengers who arrived here to board the train, in fact, changed their decision, and they started looking eagerly about what was happening at the Chennai Central Railway Station. Immediately, law and order policemen were called in and to control the crowd. The police very clearly say that their fingers are crossed. As of now, they are negotiating as to what will happen now. It all started at around 3:30. Now the time is around 5:20, and maybe when we roll the news bulletins, you will come to know whether the police succeeded in negotiating with the person. In Chennai Central with camera person Lucas, Salim for NDTV Hindu.
That was Salim a while back at the railway station. Now I have him live on air with us. Salim, has his identity been established as of now? That's the primary concern.
So far, the police say that he is not giving out any information, but the police confirm that he is around in his 30s, and in fact, he was taken in an ambulance. He's getting treated at a city hospital. The police say that the man will be allowed to undergo a medical test. If the medical officer says that the man is mentally fit, then he'll be lodged in the Pudel prison. Because according to the Indian Constitution, one cannot take his own life. It is a crime. Secondly, if a man is deemed medically unfit, then he'll be taken to a home for rehabilitation.
And what questions have emerged from the police's side on what his motive was behind his suicide?
Now, the thing is, in fact, the senior officers really wonder what made the man to claim the narrow staircase and reach the top. First of all, who had kept the narrow staircase open? That is the question in the minds of the police. They have ordered a departmental inquiry as to what led the person in charge to leave it open. Secondly, if the man starts, if the man starts talking, then the police will get information about who is he, whether he is from North India or is he a South Indian, what exactly led him to actually threaten the police as if he will commit suicide.
Is there somebody at the tower, or is it just as easy for anybody to get out of the tower, Salim?
It is not so easy actually to claim the tower. In fact, the police personnel say that it is a very narrow staircase, and in fact, it is a very difficult job to claim all the way up the staircase.
Okay, thank you for that, Salim. And moving on to politics. It's official, Jaswant Singh's candidature will be supported by Jayalalitha. The NDA's vice presidential candidate, Jaswant Singh, was in the city to meet Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha and canvass support from her party MPs. In an electorate of 790 in both the houses of the parliament, Ansari is expected to get 475 votes, with the left parties also deciding to support him, whereas Jaswant Singh is not expected to garner more than 265 votes, even with the support of the AIADMK and the BJD. Political analysts believe that the numbers are still in favour of Ansari, despite NDA's unanimous backing for Jaswant Singh. With BJD not so far declaring support for him, the odds look definitely stacked up against him.
All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam has decided to support Shri Jaswant Singh in the election for the post of Vice President of India. A very important reason is my firm belief that if we are to have a true democracy, there has to be an opposition in the country. Simply because the candidate put up by the ruling dispensation appears to have a winning chance, it does not mean that no one else should contest in this election. So, it is mainly to reinforce my strong belief, principle and conviction that in a democracy there has to be an opposition, and that is why we are making our opposition known and felt, and that is why the All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam has decided to support the candidature of Shri Jaswant Singh.
I am very glad at this occasion to call on Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, and I am very glad and honored to inform you that she has assured me of the support of the Anna DMK, as also her personal support to my candidature. I am indebted personally, and I am indebted as a member of the NDA, as an NDA candidate.
And Rajiv Shukla has said that UPA candidate Hamid Ansari is all set to win the vice presidential poll with a thumping majority.
In vice presidential election also, there will be a thumping majority for Mr. Hamid Ansari, and his victory is a foregone conclusion. He is definitely going to win. We are getting support from different quarters, and today Mrs. Gandhi has hosted a lunch for UPA allies and supporting parties, and the atmosphere is building up, and we are going to sweep the poll tomorrow.
Meanwhile, activist Anna Hazare has dissolved the group of aides who worked with him for the last 18 months on a civil society campaign against corruption. In a new blog, he has said that time for fasts has ended and the need of the hour is to give people a political alternative. On Friday, 75-year-old Anna made it clear that he will not contest elections, but that his activists will set up a political party. Aides like Arvind Kejriwal, who are fasting at Delhi's Jantar Mantar, asked the public to suggest a name and manifesto for the new party.
I myself had in my mind whether it is possible for our team to float a political party. But then I heard him also in the television, or rather the commentators saying that he has disbanded the team. Maybe he feels that if at all it is his decision to go for election and form a political party, then he must have thought that there is no need for Anna team to continue, because the objective of the Anna team was something different. If he is not party to forming a political party, then he must have thought the mixing of Anna team with the formation of political party may not be a good idea.
Moving on, the suspect in a shooting that left 6 people dead at a Sikh temple in suburban Milwaukee on Sunday has been identified as Wade Michael Page. Authorities have confirmed to US media that Page was the suspect in the shooting. 6 people have died and 3 of them are critically injured, including a police officer who first reached the spot. The US President Barack Obama has sent his condolences, and Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has expressed his shock and anguish on this incident.
Is something that makes me enormously sad. I hope the American authorities would investigate who are behind this dastardly attack on innocent devotees, and that they will ensure that such costly events do not take place. I believe the President of the United States has issued a statement. I welcome that, and I sincerely hope that the American authorities will do all that is necessary to investigate the case, provide relief and succor to the affected families, and my heartfelt sympathies are with all those who have lost their lives, their relatives, and those who have suffered injuries.
बड़ा अफसोस हुआ है कि इतना अनफॉर्चुनेट इंसिडेंट यूएस में हुआ है। हमने बार बार रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि पूरे अमेरिका में मीडिया राਹੀਂ बताना चाहिए कि सिख कम्युनिटी एक इंडिपेंडेंट डिफरेंट कम्युनिटी है, डिफरेंट रिलीजन है। मिक्स्ड आइडेंटिटी कारण भी कई बार हमारे मेंबर्स पर अटैक हुआ है, और मैं स्ट्रांगली कंडेम करता हूँ ये अटैक को, और मैं यूएस गवर्नमेंट को रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा, मैं एम्बेसडर को भी यहाँ मिलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि वो स्ट्रांग प्रेशर डाल के मालूम करें कि हु इज बिहाइंड दिस अटैक।
अमेरिका में जो गुरुद्वारा पर हमला हुआ है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी उसकी निंदा करती है। हम ये मानते हैं कि भारतीयों की जान माल की पूरी रक्षा अमेरिका को करनी चाहिए, और ख़ासकर जो सिख कम्युनिटी हैं उस पर जिस तरह से गुरुद्वारा पर हमला हुआ है, ये जांच का विषय है, और कि पूरी तरह से ये हमला किस तरह से हुआ, क्यों हुआ, ये देश के लोग जानना चाहते हैं। उसकी पूरी रक्षा होनी चाहिए और पूरी सुरक्षा वहाँ के सिख समाज को देनी चाहिए।
More news and updates will follow on the other side of a very short break. Stay with us.